number 16, Taupo District Performance Report for October 2012. Now I think this has got an extrapolation to it. The Chief Executive Officer has come in and joined forces with this normal agenda item where he is producing a report as well on top of it in the mix of it. Is that right?
That's right. Basically what the report is it's pulling together a lot of stuff that's previously been supplied. There's bits and pieces of new information that will hopefully be both of interest but also both of use to everybody. There's a little summary page on the front that sort of produces some highlights of things that have been happening or things that I feel you may want to know about. And just for your information on this particular paper, I've provided a report that the Waikato Regional Council produced for their Policy and Strategy Committee a couple of weeks ago, which was in relation to a lot of the regional and national debate that they get involved in, so I thought that might have provided some interest for you as well. So happy to take questions, and Alan would be happy to walk you through various aspects of the report up to your pleasure.
Okay, so does anybody have questions of Mr. Williams as part of the report to start with? Councillor Johnson?
Just that comment on the Waitanui and the wastewater. Do we need an update, or is it?
There's three schemes talked about there. The first one is Kinloch, where and we have resource consent work being done in these particular areas. But Kinloch, we have a problem at peak time, which we need to, or we're getting further work on to handle. The Waitanui one was where somebody, unbeknown to us, and it wasn't council related, poured some chemicals down the wastewater system, and that killed the nitrogen beds. So that caused us problems. The Turangi one, that's part of that exercise we're looking at as far as the membranes that we're putting in for the wastewater plant. But those are the three wastewater areas that one was outside our control, and the other two we are working on.
So you're signalling that we need to watch this space regards to this issue?
Yes.
Okay. Moving now to Council Project Performance Report Highlights, 16/2. You want to comment on these? We'll take them as read. It's self-explanatory. There's a little bit of slippage here because of seal extension, which has been deferred. A little bit of slippage with the 25-metre pool behind a couple of weeks. However, contractors think that they can work to catch that up again. Flood hazard development plan change. We've just done that. And plan change is 2833. So any questions on that? And nothing. We turn around the other way. Going on to page 16/3, Council's projects. Starting at page 16/3, are there any questions on there? Wastewater treatment plant upgrade, AC Barbs upgrade, which we're fully aware of, Huhu Street upgrade, which is now completed, and I believe has got a 99% satisfaction rate, from what I've been told, including visitors on the weekend, very complimentary about it. Broadlands Road landfill, you know they're building a new cell there. You know we've still got 18 odd years of life in our landfill. And transport seal extensions, nothing. Moving to the next page. All in the green. Good to see the Mangakino Lakefront upgrade has been approved, and I think Councillor Truman, we're just simply waiting for Waikato Regional Council to issue resource consent to enlarge the area down here, beautify it, make it more usable for all water sport users, and of course your campers, etc. down there, which is good for your district. Can I ask for a little bit, please? It's very, it's been raised this morning by 2 or 3 people that came to our coffee morning. Options for public toilet at Whakamaru. I see we're still in develop and design stage. Initial sketches were rejected by the NZTA. And I think we're still locked in discussions and negotiations with the NZTA. Would that be a fair comment, Mr. Ridd? These toilets are very on the public's mind out here. They're getting a lot of use because of the Waikato river trails, etc. So, please.
Yep. As far as I'm aware, we've identified an agreeable site with NZTA just further down. There's a gravel, not pit, gravel storage area further down towards Whakamaru. So we've agreed a site, which is on the right side of the road. The plans that were developed have been put to the group out, the business owners out there, to now do what they were going to do, which was lobby various groups to fund the toilet. So we've done as much as we can do. It's now over to people to make it happen.
Who's the special people to make it happen?
So the business owners of Whakamaru.
Do they know that? Yep. What, are they supposed to be knocking on the door of NZTA or something?
Well, I understand there was one of the local power generators was looking at helping funding the toilet. So we've done the negotiations with NZTA, found a site. As far as I was aware, the discussions were then with the business owners to go forward and take the project forward. Okay,
well, could I ask staff to please report if the chairperson of Mangakino Pouakani subcommittee will allow it? Can we have that as an agenda item and a full report, please, on your next Mangakino Pouakani agenda, so we know with clarity what's going on? Because I'm getting asked by a lot of people, and I think it's something that we need to really, really address in this area.
I think it's the Resident and Ratepayers Association as opposed to the businesses.
Oh, is it? Okay, sorry. My apologies for that, sir.
Okay, so if that could happen and be minuted, please, I appreciate it.
Yep.
Anything further? Nothing. Over the page. I'm sorry, Councillor Hinkley.
John, I see where the Kaunihera reserve toilets, changing rooms, the whole thing has been designed.
Yep.
And completed. The Sports Advisory Council got a plan. Is that being incorporated or not?
So what Council mentioned, I had a discussion about this at lunchtime. What we've done is designed a building to potentially relocate Sport Waikato in.
Yeah.
That needs to come back to this group of council because it's very much at the early stages. We've tendered both with the idea that part is funded by council annual plan. The remainder, if it was to go forward, would be funded by Sport Waikato fundraising. So we've got tenders back yesterday.
Okay, that's what concerns me because the tenders
were we opened those tenders this morning.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got tenders
signed
back.
them off this morning.
I've not seen them yet. Talking to Cricket, they want to delay until probably March, the end of the season, before we kick into it. So I haven't seen the tenders.
We opened them this morning, so just to let so it's now a matter of the tenders coming back to council and being accepted.
So there's quite a bit of work to do with council to determine whether or not it's something that you want to go down the route of, because Sport Waikato have got to relocate at some point because that site is for sale that they're on.
Yeah. That's why I've raised it at this stage.
Good. Yep. So my intent was to bring it back to council when I'd got some firm prices, and then we could have a discussion as to
how we can fund it.
Because Sport Waikato might not be able to fund it, so I just wanted to make sure we knew what we're talking about dollar-wise before we had the discussion.
Okay. Councillor Henderson.
That's a question about the community facilities review. How we're progressing with that.
Yep. So the next board meeting, there's a project plan coming to the next board meeting, and we're progressing really well. We've done quite a bit of background work, but you'll get a full project plan at the next board meeting.
And how long is the review itself?
Well, we've done the preliminary stuff. We'll have all that sort of analysis stuff done before Christmas, and then the project plan then outlines the next stages on from there. I can't remember the top of my head.
But that's still a review, isn't it, of what's going on with the project. So the project plan is for a review.
It is, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
How long will the review take?
So we've done some upfront work, which is really looking what's out there. We need to now do a bit more detailed stuff. So The answer is we're looking at trying to get it done by this financial year. The project plan says a bit longer, but the idea is we try and wipe it this financial year, but it's resource permitting.
So, just to clarify, project plan timing would be such that decisions could be made in the long-term plan funding round?
Potentially, yes, if something comes out which requires funding, yeah. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, potentially.
And to make that round, it needs to be
So
completed by when?
April.
Mr. Chair, I think you're talking about the annual plan round?
Yeah.
Sorry, I think
Yeah. And basically you'll be looking at your annual plan budgeting and program planning in February with the view to looking towards a draft going out in March.
On that basis, it's going to be quite tight. But we'll have a discussion about that at the next, perhaps at the board meeting.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because I know that this is necessary to do this review, but there have been a number of other reviews, I believe, previously over the years. So I do question how much we actually need to review before forward.
Okay, anything more on this performance report, please? Last 2 pages. And if there's nothing, we go back to the resolution on page 6, or on the first page, item number 16, the performance report for October 2012 be received. Move it, please. Move, Councillor Johnson. All second. All those in favour, aye. Say aye. Thank you. Item number 17 is your first quarter performance report, 1 July, 30th September. Addendum in your pack.
Just before you move on,
Yes.
I'd just like to thank our CEO for his report. I thought it was really detailed, well worth waiting for. And I think there was a lot of information in there which I think, very interesting. Thanks.
I think I would happily concur with that, as I think all the other councillors would. A good improvement for us to have a greater understanding of what is actually happening. Councillor Downer?
Can I just ask the CEO, I wasn't quite sure whether it was in his report, I couldn't quite remember what Alan in his report. Just, we're under budget on quite a few different things. I think it added up to about 234,000 we were under budget on about 5 different things. What happens, because obviously the budget is within, what happens to that? Does it go into other avenues of
Saves rates. Saves rates.
Saves rates.
I suppose in the big picture it goes to offset the over expenditures in terms of unbudgeted expenditures that
Like the 36,000 is spent.
That would be one item on it.
18.
However, in the long run, CapEx isn't so much as the issue because it has less of an impact on the rates. However, the operational savings are what I would be looking for.
Yeah, I think it's 34,000, 17,000.